Hi, I'm Monica from California. Please like and subscribe. I was born to middle-class parents. Dad was a lawyer and Mom was a sculptor, and unfortunately, she wasn't as good as she thought. Is that a monkey's butt, Mom? Yes, it represents freedom. You won't get it. I don't think anyone will. Growing up, I was closer to my dad. He would read to me every day and tuck me into bed, while Mom stayed in her room making weird structures from mud. Every time Dad asked her to get a real job, she would lock herself in and not come out for days. One evening after an argument with Dad, Mom left the house in the middle of the night. We searched everywhere and found her in the park, crouching under a tree. What took you guys so long? Look what I made. Mom, we were going crazy looking for you. Oh, but I was right here, darling. Things changed after that. Mom and Dad started avoiding each other even more, and Dad got busier with work. I started reading to keep myself distracted, and by 17, I'd read almost all the books in Dad's library. One night, I was studying for a test when I heard Mom and Dad arguing again.
I work hard all day and night, and you go behind my back to get these useless things?
I'm trying to build something amazing. I knew you wouldn't give me the money if I told you. Just relax.
No, I won't. I've had enough. I'm leaving.
What? No! Dad, wait! Dad didn't even turn around. I was so mad at Mom for driving him away that I didn't talk to her for days. After Dad left, things went downhill quickly in terms of money. I was a straight-A student, so we got an extension on the fees, and somehow I convinced my mom to get a job in the diner so we wouldn't go completely broke. But a few days later, I came back from school to find Mom sitting outside the house. What? What happened?
The landlord threw us out. We didn't have the money for rent.
But I thought you got a salary.
Yes, but then I saw this beautiful sculpting kit and I couldn't stop myself.
Can't you ask for an advance at your job?
Oh no, I can't. I quit. Waiting on people is not my thing.
You quit? Mom, are you crazy? We're homeless because you spent everything on those stupid supplies.
This is not stupid. This is my dream.
And what about my dreams? You know I want to study law. And you know what? It's my fault. I should have known better. The look on Mom's face broke my heart, but I was too mad to think straight. We took our luggage and moved to a motel nearby, and I spent the whole night applying to every part-time job on the internet. That's when I came across an ad asking for a babysitter for 10-year-old twin girls. The money was good, so I applied, and luckily I got a call back almost immediately, along with an address. The place was in the middle of nowhere, and as I stepped inside, a can of juice went flying past me, almost hitting me in the head. This is cranberry. I'm allergic to this. You want me to die, don't you? Hello? I'm talking to you. Sis? I think she's finally gone crazy. What do you think? Should we kick her out too? The poor maid stood still like a rock, staring at the floor as the two brats screamed at her. I could see tears rolling down her face, but her expression remained cold as ice. Hi. I think they're talking to you. And you two, can you stop flinging things like that? You might end up hurting someone. Then don't stand in the way, ugly face. Who are you anyway? A trespasser from the media? Oh my god, a kidnapper? I'm here for the babysitting job? Oh, but aren't you supposed to be all old and wrinkly? And what are you still doing here? Get your deaf butt out of this room.
Now, that's not a very nice thing to say, Emerald.
Suddenly, a handsome guy in his 40s walked in, and the whole place fell silent. Something about his face screamed royalty to me, but when he spoke, a chill ran down my spine.
You must be Monica. I'm Robbie Jackson. That's Emerald and Pearl, my daughters. Just excuse their behavior. They get hyper around new people.
No problem, but they do need to treat people with respect.
Of course. That's why I want a good nanny for them that could teach them some manners. You see, I'm a busy man and I need my space.
Sure, but I thought you needed a babysitter.
Potato, potato. You help them study, eat, sleep, everything. And sometimes you have to stay the night. Like tonight I have a charity event and I'll be back tomorrow. I'll pay you extra for this. Do we have a deal?
I thought about it for a moment before agreeing, and Mr. Jackson immediately gave me $5,000 as a salary advance. This was huge. Don't get too happy. We won't make it easy on you. Consider this as our warning. Dad's soft, but we're not. Try me. I'm tougher than you think. As I lay on my bed that night, I couldn't shake an uneasy feeling about the house and those creepy brats. God, those girls needed some discipline. I went downstairs to get some water and found the maid from the morning. So I thought of having a little chat. Hey Hey there, so how long have you been working here? Silence. Could you tell me your name at least? Why? Please don't talk to me. Before I could say anything else, this maid turned around and left. Well, that was awkward. I was just getting over this weird moment when suddenly I heard someone howling downstairs. I got freaked out and rushed to check up on the twins when I realized one of them was missing. What the freaking Funyuns? Diamond? Sorry, Pearl? Pearl? What? Stop screaming. Where's your sister? She's not here. Shh, stop freaking out. She went to her special place. She'll come back. Chill. What special place? How would I know? She just calls it her special place. She goes there every night and comes back later. Just try to shut up. I'm trying to get some sleep. Pearl simply pulled the blanket and turned around. Helpless, I tried looking for Emerald everywhere, but it was like she disappeared into thin air. The next morning before leaving for school, I went straight to Mr. Jackson to talk about it.
Don't think about it too much. Just be careful around the girls. They've taken a hit after their mom got into a coma. If you take good care of them, you'll never have to look for another job.
Mr. Jackson looked desperate, and in some ways it reminded me of my own dad around Mom trying to get her to work. Over the next few days, I tried everything to warm up to the girls, but they were just horrible. They'd burn my assignments, super glue my chair, and one time they filled my bag with broken eggs. It took me hours to clean that. One day at work, Mr. Jackson informed me that it was the twins' 11th birthday, and he wanted to throw the biggest party ever. But an hour before guests started pouring in, he left for an urgent business meeting, leaving me in charge. When I told the girls, they went ballistic. He always gets away with it. Not this time. He's gonna regret missing out on our birthday. Emerald pulled a lighter out of her pocket and rushed to the library. I chased her all the way up in this maze of a house and found her with a lighter under a massive painting. I wonder how he'll feel when we burn his favorite painting down. You can't! You won't! Listen, Emerald, I'm sure something important came up. That doesn't mean he can abandon us like that. And what do you know? You probably have both of your parents loving you. Actually, no. I told the girls about my issues regarding Mom and Dad, and suddenly they went softer. Emerald pulled the lighter down, and after that day, she was surprisingly kinda well-behaved. The week went by peacefully, and soon the school announced the annual scholarship test. I asked Mr. Jackson if he could spare me for a week, but he suggested I just move in instead. It didn't sound half bad, so I agreed, but when I told Mom, she said she had a bad feeling about it. Well, I would have preferred if she had a job instead of a bad feeling, but whatever. I moved in the next day, and while I was setting up my stuff, Mr. Jackson called for me.
Now that you're here, you need to understand two things. My study is off limits, and the room on the top floor remains closed at all times. Under no circumstances are you allowed to go in.
I felt a bit weird with the way he spoke, but I nodded my head and went back to my room. Moments later, the girls walked in and asked if I wanted a tour. They took me around the house, showing off their bowling alley, swimming pool, and arcade. Do you get to play many games with your dad? No, he's always busy. Oh, okay. Why do you say it like that? Like what? Like you're feeling sorry for us? Oh, look at those poor little girls. They don't have a mom, and their dad is too busy. I'm sure you're thinking that. But guess what? Our daddy loves us deeply. Hey, I didn't mean it like that. You know what? Forget it. I'm sorry if you feel that way. Sorry doesn't heal anything. Before I could ask her what she meant, Emerald just turned around and left, and the maid told us that dinner was ready. Don't think too much. She's a bit crazy. You should know that by now. Also, never be late for dinner, or you'll starve the night. What? That night and the night after went by fine, but then I started noticing weird things. For starters, Mr. Jackson was never around anymore. He never spoke or ate with us, and when he came home, he went straight to his study. As if this wasn't weird enough, 2 nights before the exam, I heard a light tapping on the door. My body froze as the knocking got louder, but when I opened the door, I saw a light flicker in the downstairs area, and then I saw Emerald. She was at it again. This time, I followed her, and it looked like she was headed toward the basement. Emerald, shh, you're not supposed to go there. She can't hear you. The soul left my body when I turned around to face Pearl. You scared the bejesus out of me. Sorry, but I just wanted to stop you before you did something stupid. Pearl then told me that Emerald went down to the basement almost every night, and sometimes she even sleeps there. It's got all of Mom's stuff. No one, not even Dad, disturbs her. Ever since Mom went into a coma, that's how she comforts herself. That explains why she went missing the first night I was here. But if you knew that, why didn't you tell me before? It was just fun watching you get creeped out. Anyway, you should sleep now. I'll keep an eye on her. I believed Pearl and went back to bed. But an hour later, I woke up again, and this time it was to the smell of smoke. My room was drowning in smoke. As I made my way to the hall screaming for the girls and dialing the fire brigade. Monica! Oh my God, are you okay? What happened? I don't know. I was waiting for Emerald and passed out on the floor. When I woke up, there was fire everywhere. Hold on, where's Emerald? The two of us rushed toward the basement, but the fire was totally out of control. Luckily, the fire truck arrived just in time and rescued Emerald unharmed. They said that the fire was caused because of a candle in the basement. I was just lighting up some of Mom's favorite candles, and I didn't realize when I dozed off, I burned everything that belonged to Mom. I'm so sorry. As long as we found you. Emerald started sobbing and I hugged her tight. Just then, Mr. Jackson arrived looking horrified, and when the fire guys told him what caused the mess, he lost his mind.
You know what? I've done everything for you girls, and all you've done is made a mess out of my life. How could you burn the house down?
I'm sorry to butt in, Mr. Jackson, but it was a mistake. Emerald feels horrible, and to be honest, you should be glad your girls are okay.
And who are you to tell me what to do?
Don't forget your place. You're just a servant here.
You can't talk to her like that, Dad. She saved our lives.
I can do whatever I want. Watch this. You're fired. Don't come here again.
Gladly, Mr. Jackson. And I hope you become a better parent, because God knows these girls deserve it. I said my final goodbyes to the girls and left. Thanks to the wild night, I was super exhausted at school the next day and totally tanked my scholarship test. When I went home, Mom gave me the shocking news. Thanks to the fire, the secret room in the house had to be opened to check the damages, and thousands of gold coins and illegal cash were recovered. Everything belonged to Mr. Jackson. He was taken to jail, and the girls were sent to London to stay with their aunt. Wow, that's why he kept the room shut all the time. I'm just happy the girls are safe.
Yeah, Mon, I'm sorry for putting you through this. I've been a horrible mother.
You stuck around, and that's all that matters.
I promise, I'll be better.
And she made good on the promise, working hard and bagging a good deal on her sculptures. I lost the scholarship opportunity, but our combined savings were enough to put me through the first year at Stanford. But halfway through the year, I received an anonymous donation of $1 million. And when I saw the bank details, it was some Linda Jackson, Mr. Jackson's wife. I immediately called the number, and Linda's secretary arranged for a meeting. I was surprised to see the girls waiting for me along with their mom. Monica!
I've heard so much about you from my daughters. It feels like I know you already.
It's nice to see you've recovered, ma'am, and thank you for bringing these brats along. Linda held my hand and thanked me for saving her daughters and exposing her cruel husband. She even offered me a job at her company right after I graduated, and since the pay was good, I took it up. Don't get too happy. We won't make it easy for you. I'm counting on that. Hi, I'm Shayla from Texas, and I'm a child genius. Before I continue, please like and subscribe. I was only 6 when I discovered I was what people called gifted. I was at my friend's birthday party, and we were having a contest on who could solve a Rubik's Cube first. Well, I solved it in 19 seconds. Mommy, she cheated! That's crazy! How could I cheat? You were watching me the whole time.
Stop lying, Shayla. There's no way you could solve the Rubik's Cube that fast. Now go sit in the corner.
But that's so unfair! I didn't want to play more party games after that because all the kids kept calling me a cheat. When I got home, I told my parents what happened, and a few days later, they had me tested. And it turned out I had an insanely high IQ, just like my mom, who was a respected neurologist. Cool, right? Well, not exactly. I got moved up 2 grades, which meant I was the youngest in the class. And no one wanted to be friends with a little 6-year-old who was every teacher's favorite. By the time I got to high school, I felt like a total outcast. One night in 9th grade, I was home alone even though it was Valentine's Day, and tons of kids at school were out on dates.
Knock, knock. I have a Valentine's Day present for you, sweetie.
Thanks. At least I have one Valentine tonight, even if it is just my mom. Here, open this box. I pulled out a bracelet with an infinity symbol on it. What's this? Shayla, people like you and I, we're not like everyone else. We're smarter and 10 times more special. This is an infinity bracelet. And remember that nobody can hold you back from your potential. Do you understand? I think so. After that night with Mom, I decided it was time to change my attitude and stop feeling sorry for myself. So for the first time during lunch, I decided to eat in the cafeteria with everyone else instead of alone in the janitor's closet. Then suddenly, as I was walking, a flyer hit me smack in the face. Greetings, miss. May I interest you in joining the most amazing club in all of Texas? The Humble Mathletes. What are the Mathletes? Ugh, ignore him. His name is Nolan and he's the new kid. He's trying to recruit fellow dorks to compete in math tournaments across Texas. Well, I think math is fun. Sign me up. Cool. I don't usually allow younger kids on my team, but I'll make an exception. Ugh. I ended up joining Nolan's math team and the two of us became friends. Nolan wasn't gifted the way I was, but he was still smart and a really sweet guy. Finally, the day of our state tournament arrived and my mom called to tell me that she was coming. I can't believe it. My mom never takes a day off from work. Nolan, we have to win today. I really want to make her proud.
Calm down, girl. We're gonna crush this tournament.
Nolan pulled me into a hug, and for some reason, it made my stomach do cartwheels. The competition went well, but in the final round, Nolan got 2 answers wrong, and that cost us the first place trophy.
Oh well, second place it is then. How about we celebrate with milkshakes and an MSA marathon?
I was about to agree when I saw Mom standing behind me with a very disappointed face. I excused myself to talk to her.
Why were you so happy back there? You're not embarrassed that you got second place?
Hey, second place is still really good.
Shayla, why are you friends with someone like Nolan? He's obviously not very bright. It's his fault you didn't win.
Mom, don't talk that way. Nolan is really smart and we've become good friends. Suddenly, Mom took my wrist and started to unclasp the infinity bracelet. What are you doing?
I shouldn't have given this to you, Shayla. You don't seem to care much about unlocking your potential. I'll just have to live with the disappointment.
No, stop! I do care. I'm gonna make things right. Just give me a chance. I ended up riding home with Dad without saying goodbye to Nolan. And the next day at school, I tried avoiding him until he showed up at my locker.
Hey, sunshine. I thought we were gonna celebrate, but you left. Are you okay?
Nolan, we can't be friends anymore.
What? Why?
You want me to be honest?
Of course.
You're not smart the way I am. You're average at best. And if we continue hanging out, you're just gonna hold me back. I'm so sorry. I ran away before Nolan could answer, feeling horrible. Nolan didn't speak to me again after that, and I didn't blame him. Then 2 months later, my life took a turn. Mom was offered a research position in China. So, does that mean we're moving to China?
No, only I'm moving. And I'm divorcing your father. I just can't have anyone in my way right now. But don't worry, you and I will keep in touch.
Mom kissed my cheek and tears filled my eyes. After Mom left, I tried to keep busy and comfort Dad, who wasn't taking the divorce too well. One afternoon, I was sitting on the porch when I saw a van pull into our driveway. A lady came out and, to my surprise, it was my first grade teacher. Mrs. Johnson? Is that you? Shayla? I haven't seen you since they pulled you out of my class to move you up 2 grades. Miss Johnson invited me to dinner that night, but while we were eating, she kept asking me if something was wrong, and I just couldn't hold it in. I told Miss Johnson all about Mom leaving and how hard school was and how much I missed Nolan. It doesn't matter though. I just need to focus on myself and my goals. I remember I was just like you, Shayla. My grades and my dreams meant everything to me, but I realized over time that part of success is also about being happy. No offense, but that sounds like a cheesy quote you'd read on Instagram. Maybe, but it's true. Try doing at least one thing that makes you happy this week, sweetheart. I was exhausted from finals, so that week, I decided to take Miss Johnson's advice. I went to the community pool to sunbathe when I tripped over a crack in the sidewalk.
Whoa, easy.
Thanks. At that moment, I realized the lifeguard was Daryl, the most popular guy in school.
I usually save people from water, not concrete. You look familiar. I feel like I know you from somewhere. What's your name?
I was about to tell him, but then I paused. Boys like Daryl usually never talk to me, and I wanted to start off on the right foot. I'm Cher, like the singer.
And you're pretty like her too. I'm having a party tonight. How about you be my date?
Whoa, did he just ask me out? Of course, I said yes. And that night, I got super dolled up for the party and even bought a new dress. The party was so much fun, and I danced with Daryl for hours. And when I saw the other kids at school there, I told them I'd changed my name because, well, I had a chance to be a new me. At one point, I had to go to the bathroom, but I opened the wrong door, which apparently was a bedroom.
Oh my God, what are you doing in my room?
Nolan? This is Daryl's house.
Yeah, and my mom and I moved in here 2 weeks ago. Daryl's my cousin.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Of course you didn't. Daryl doesn't want to be associated with nerds. How did you get invited here anyway?
Actually, I'm not a nerd anymore. I've decided to change. Also, my name isn't Shayla anymore. It's Cher.
Cher?
Yeah. So, if you could call me that from now on.
No, I don't have the time or energy for this. Go back to the party, will you? And don't walk by my room again.
Nolan slammed the door in my face, and I felt bad. But I really didn't want to deal with the drama at the moment. I just wanted to have fun. A week later, Daryl and I started dating. I asked everyone to start calling me Cher instead of Shayla, and just like that, I became popular. I started dressing differently, and I didn't wear my infinity bracelet anymore. One day at school, the teacher handed back last week's physics exam, and even though I hadn't studied as much, I got 100. I was grinning to myself during recess when Daryl took the paper out of my hand.
What you got there, babe? Whoa, you got 100 on a physics test? What are you, some kind of computer bot?
No, my brain just works a little differently than other people.
Like a little Miss Smarty Pants? Wait, are you one of those nerds who thinks she's better than the rest of us just because she can memorize a few extra facts? I thought you were cool.
I am cool. You know what? It was just dumb luck that I got full marks.
Whew, I thought we might have to break up.
Daryl and his friends made it clear they hated nerds. So for the next few weeks, I purposely failed all of my tests and didn't do any homework, which they all high-fived me for. The end of the semester school party came around, and the theme was game night. Daryl and his friends just wanted to play foosball and table tennis, but I couldn't help being distracted by a bunch of kids playing trivia. What is a 5-pointed star called in geometry? Time's ticking away, guys. This is a crucial round. Anyone in the room who knows what the answer is?
Why would anyone know that, loser face? Can you stop ruining the party and have your geekathon somewhere else?
I knew the answer, but of course, I stayed quiet. But I wasn't having any fun with my friends either. Daryl was busy with the boys, and the girls kept commenting how my dress wasn't flattering and how my pink lipstick wasn't a good color on me. Can you stop criticizing me already? At least I don't, have her outfit. That's really hideous. The girl I'd pointed at turned around, and suddenly, I felt really guilty. Why had I said that? Just then, Nolan came and took the girl's hand.
Leave my date alone. She looks beautiful tonight.
Oh, she's your date?
Yup. She joined the mathletes right after you left.
Nolan put his arm around the girl, and I tried to push the feeling I had away. Was it jealousy? The party sucked, and I decided to go home early. But when I arrived, Dad called me into the living room and said Mom was on a video call and wanted to talk to me urgently.
Shayla, is that really you? I've never seen you wear so much makeup.
It's not that much makeup. I was just at a party.
Oh, I see. Partying on a school night? Well, that would explain the email I got from your principal today, calling me in for a meeting to discuss your grades. You've been failing your classes?
Yeah. I didn't do so well in a few tests, but I can make up for it.
Really? Because your principal said that if you fail even one more exam, they'll put you on academic probation. Can you imagine how I felt reading that? Wait, where's your bracelet?
Well, it doesn't match with the new clothes I wear now.
What? I gave you that bracelet because I wanted to inspire you to live up to your limitless potential. But instead, you've turned out to be a complete disappointment.
You know what, Mom? I'm not a little girl anymore. I don't need a stupid bracelet to remind me what I'm capable of. Just like I don't need your validation to feel good about myself. This is the first time you've called me in weeks. I'm your daughter. There's more to me than good grades. You don't value me the way I value you. I am done trying to make our relationship work. As I ran outside my front yard, I suddenly heard a familiar voice. Haven't seen you around in a while. Oh, hi, Miss Johnson. You look lovely tonight. Did you meet a nice boy? Oh, is that why you haven't been stopping by? I don't know what happened then, but suddenly I ran to Miss Johnson and burst into tears. She hugged me as I told her everything about Mom, the bracelet, how Nolan replaced me, and how I'd turned into a superficial bimbo. Oh, Shayla, don't talk about yourself that way. I think I know what the problem is. You do? Yes. First, you tried being who your mom wanted you to be. Then, you tried being who the kids at school thought you should be. You've tried to be everything except yourself. Miss Johnson's words struck a chord in me. I thought about them all weekend, and on Monday, I pulled out the infinity bracelet. But this time, it meant something different to me. I wasn't letting anyone hold me back, and I had to start by making things right with Nolan. Hey, I know it's been a minute, but I'd love to be a mathlete again, if you'll have me. Let me think. No. Nolan, please. I've changed. I don't want to be a stuck-up jerk anymore. I'll apologize to your girlfriend for mocking her outfit too.
Firstly, she's not my girlfriend. She was just my date that night. And secondly, you're a fake, and I just can't take that person seriously. Cher.
Just then, Daryl walked over to us.
Hey babe, wanna go with me to a concert tonight? Ugh, why are you talking to him?
Because Nolan's my friend.
I'm really not.
You were at one point. We were on the Mathletes together.
The Mathletes? That's a club for losers. You're better than that. Come on, let's go.
Daryl started to pull me away, but something inside me snapped. No, I'm staying here with Nolan, and he's not a loser. He's your cousin, and maybe it's time you start treating him with the respect he deserves. I should have treated him better too.
Aw, that's a cute speech. But if you want to be my girlfriend, you can't hang out with my dork cousin or join the Mathletes, Cher.
Isn't it obvious that I don't want to be your girlfriend anymore? I feel pathetic that I dumbed myself down to fit in. I'm a nerd, and proud to be one. And just for the record, I know what a 5-point star is called in geometry. It's a decagon, and I'm going back to being Shayla. I marched off like a boss, pulling Nolan behind me.
You know, maybe you can rejoin the Mathletes. We are one team member short, and there's a tournament coming up.
Oh my god, you mean I can be on your team again? And you forgive me? Oh, Nolan, thank you.
Hey, I didn't say I forgive you, but I do need your brain for the competition. I'm not exactly smart the way you are.
Nolan, I'm sorry for saying that. The pressure to succeed turned me into a toxic person. The truth is, I think you're smarter than me. I don't have a quarter of your emotional intelligence.
That's nice of you to say. Thanks.
Nolan hugged me and I felt my stomach doing cartwheels again. Maybe one day, he could be more than a friend.